everyone, welcome to my DIY nail tutorial. I love getting my nails done, but I never have the money to get them done, and also nail technicians can be a little too rough on my hands that are sensitive because of scleroderma. So to prep my nails, I'm using cotton balls and a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I'm applying this to the surface of my nails to get rid of any excess oil and to disinfect. Okay, so the next step is to find my size. I'm using the Kiss nail set, and I'm only going to measure one hand because both hands, the nails are the same size. So I'm just making sure that I get one side and I reciprocate it on the other side. And this is pretty simple. My index fingers and my ring fingers are the same size, so that's a little less measuring that I have to do. Okay, so that's my thumb. Now I'm going to round off the edges. I'm using my Beauty Secrets nail file. This is the medium 180 and 100 grit nail file, and I'm just going to round the edges off. This makes it much easier. See how one is more squared, and it makes the nail fit more flush on my fingers when I glue them on my fingers. So I did clip my fingernails and they are ready to start the look. So I'm going to go in with my file and I'm just going to roughen up the surface of my nails. This will allow the glue and the nail to adhere even better than if the surface was just smooth. And you don't have to be specific, and you do not have to file for a really long time. That's going to damage your nails. So now I'm just going to go in and glue these nails to my nails. And I'm using the glue that came in the kit. It's from Kiss. And you want to hold them down. If you have any extra glue, it will seal off your nail on the underside of your finger. So I find it easier to place the glue in the fake nail, then apply it to your finger. That's how you will get the right amount of glue and you won't have any air bubbles. One of the reasons why you don't want air bubbles is because if water happens to get underneath your nails, then that's the first area that will be affected. You can possibly get fungus and stuff like that. You don't want that. So you just want to make sure that you get an even coat of glue inside the nail and just apply that to each finger. And you see how those rounded corners makes the nail fit more flush to your own fingernail. That is very important in making this look even more salon ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and press my fingers together. I accidentally glued my finger to the nail. Don't worry about that. I've got a way to fix that little boo-boo, and I'm just going to use some glitter, so that's all right. All right, I'm going to get my thumbnails on. This is just my index finger and then my thumbnails on. And this glue dries pretty quickly, so you want to try to work as fast but as careful as you can, because this can stick to your fingers, and once you stuck it on your finger, if it's crooked, then you're gonna have to soak it off because you cannot pull it off just like that. It's going to really hurt your fingernail, and the point of this is to do less damage to your nail bed by doing your nails by yourself. So I like to press down my thumb a little bit harder and a little bit longer than the others because sometimes I tend to get air bubbles underneath my thumb, but that's all right. I don't think I got any under this one, and so that's okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply nails to the other side off camera. So now I'm gonna choose my length. I like using a toenail clipper because it is wider and it's easier to maneuver with these nails. They're thin, so it's easy to clip, but having a wider base makes it easier to get the look that you want, the length that you want for sure, and also it does help hack the the filing process down a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and clip these down to the size that I think that I want my nails to be. If you're doing like coffin style or stiletto, you want to make sure you give yourself enough length to be able to file your nails down to a point. If you make it too short, then you won't be able to point the nail the way you would like it to be. So I'm just guesstimating on this right hand, just to make sure the length is kind of similar to my first hand. Okay, and we want twins, not cousins, so I'm just going to line up my nails together, and you can see this one is clearly longer than the other. So I'm just going to clip that one off, and then I'm going to go ahead and check the rest of my nails to make sure they're even. So that's even, and now my middle finger, the one on the right, is a little longer, so I'm going to clip that off. Okay, so that's more even. My index finger is even, look at that. And then my thumbs are even as well. Okay, so now you want to cut some corners here. This will save you time when you are trying to file your nails. If you like rounded nails, almond shaped, coffin, or stiletto, this will save you so much time. A regular nail clipper, the base is too small to be able to clip the sides of the nails off. That's why I use a toenail clipper. But this step really does help when you have to file your nails down. So I'm just going to clip the corners on all of my fingers, and I'm going to repeat that step on the other hand. And it's kind of hard to get the right side, but you got to work those angles, and you'll be able to get it. It's not as bad as you think. Okay, so just clipping those corners. And I did realize that I forgot to clip my pinky finger on this hand. That's okay, because it's smaller than all the other fingers, it's less filing. Okay, so I gotta file these into shape. I'm gonna go back in with my nail file, and I'm going to straighten the sides. For coffin nails, I personally like them to be more narrow at the tip. So what I do is file the sides straight, and once you get to the tip of the nail, it's going to create a trapezoid. And then I'm just going to repeat the step on all of my fingers. So one thing I like to do sometimes is I like to start off with a stiletto nail, and once the stiletto nail gets a little bit too dull at the tips, then I just file them straight, and that's how I get my coffin nails, and that's how I get more versatility out of my nail look. So I'm just gonna go ahead and file the sides. If you're like me, you have very narrow, long fingers. The thinner, the smaller the tip of the nail, and the more narrow your nails are, the more elegant they make your fingers look. That's what I've noticed from my personal experience, and that's how I go about finding my shape for my fingernails that fit my nails best. This is the way I go about finding a shape that fits my nails best. Okay, so I filed that down, and I went ahead and filed the other side off camera. So gotta seal the deal. I'm using my Sally Hansen Hard as Nail Wrap. This is a clear nail polish. It hardens similar to acrylic, but you do not need a UV lamp at all. You just need 1 to 2 minutes for this to dry. And I like using this, and this step is so important because if there's any spots around the edges of your nails that you weren't able to really fasten down with the glue, this will help seal the edges so no liquid or water will be able to build up underneath the nail. And as well as being able to seal the edge, this does give your nails that high gloss shine that makes them look salon ready. So if you'd like your nails to be just this color, this you can let them dry, and this would be a great stopping point for you. If you like color, then this would be a great step to as a base for the color that you're going to add. If you personally like just the gel nail look or shellac look, do this without the nails. So apply the Sally Hansen Hardest Nail Wrap and then your favorite nail polish in a top coat, and you've got the gel look. And I finished the right side and I've let them dry, so it's time for color. And I like really fancy nails, so I'm gonna do a lot. So I'm going in with my Sally Hansen Slick Slate gray nail polish, and this is very pigmented. You don't need a lot of, you only need one coat. Okay, in this nude, this is my favorite nude from WetnWild. It's called Private Viewing. And I'm applying that onto my ring finger as well as my thumb now. And this is a little more opaque, so you're going to need a second coat, but we'll get to that in just a second. So what I'm gonna do now is take just any old regular clear nail polish, and I'm gonna take a dot of some black nail polish, and I'm gonna add that, and I'm going to mix these together with an old clear nail polish applicator brush, just so I don't ruin my newer one. And that's going to add a nice light gray wash. I'm sorry you can't see this now. This is the first time I've filmed a nail tutorial, so that hand kind of got cut off, but you'll be able to see when I apply it on my ring finger on my right hand. I'm only applying one coat of this to those two nails. So after you're done with this, you can put that aside because I've got to get some more color on my right finger. Okay, so now I'm going in with Private Viewing, and that's the nude that I'm using for my fingers, and I'm applying this just to my index finger. Okay, and now I'm going to go back in with that gray Slick Slate from Sally Hansen, and I'm applying that to my middle and thumb fingers on my hand. So like I said, you only need one coat of that. So now I'm going to go back in on the other side with Private Viewing and add a second coat on my thumb and my ring finger. I'm also going to apply a second coat to my index finger on my right hand. So that's it as far as color on my nails. That's what they're supposed to look like. So I'm going to add some designs. And I'm going in with my Kiss Nail Art paint. And I'm going to start off with a little triangle. And then I'm going to make a diagonal line on both sides of my finger that looks like an even bigger triangle. And then I'm going to go to the top triangle and add some lines that go against the grain and cut through both of those triangles. I'm only going to add 3 lines on both sides. So I'm going to repeat that step on the other finger. This one's a little bit crooked, but that's all right. When you're making your own unique design, that can happen. That's the beauty of it. Okay, so I'm ambidextrous, so maybe this hand will turn out a little better. So I'm starting off with a triangle, and here I'm making those 2 diagonal lines further down the nail to make it look like a bigger triangle. Then I'm going to go back to the top triangle and make 3 lines coming from the side, and that go against the grain through those the bigger triangle. Okay, just gonna elongate that line and then add 2 more on this side. And I think that looks pretty good, so I'm gonna put that away. Time for some glitter, because you can't have great nails without glitter. So now I'm just gonna go in with a top coat of clear nail polish. This is just a thin layer. You don't have to make it super thick. It's not necessary. You just want the glitter to adhere to your finger. So I'm going to take an old eyeshadow applicator that I've never used on my eyes, and I'm going to use that to funnel the glitter onto my finger. By the way, I should have done this over the glitter so that the extra glitter would fall off into the container, but that's okay. I figured that out halfway through doing this first finger. But you're going to take the applicator and you're going to press the glitter down just a little bit. You have to be really soft because you don't want it to move or smudge. So whilst I have the glitter out, I'm going to do my pinky finger on my right hand. So I'm applying the clear glitter like I did on my left hand. And I'm going to just shovel a little bit of that glitter onto this finger. And I wasn't able to get the other side of it, so you got to work those angles and try to get some glitter onto the entire nail and then softly press it into the nail. Okay, so the nail polish is now tacky and I can use my finger to press it down very nice and flatten out the glitter. This will get rid of the texture so that your nails will be smooth when you add the clear nail polish on top of your glitter nails. Okay, so to lock in that glitter, I'm going to go back in with my Sally Hansen Hard as Nail Wrap, and I'm only using this on the glitter nails. This is so that the glitter doesn't fall off, it stays in place, and you get a very nice smooth texture. Okay, and as far as texture, I'm going to add texture to some of my other fingers. So the finger with the design, I'm adding texture, matte nail polish to that nail, as well as my pinky finger on my left hand. And I'm also just going to add a little bit of that matte nail polish to the design on my right ring finger and my index finger. So that's all the matte nail polish I'm using for this look. And because I'm extra, I'm going to take a little bit of clear nail polish and a nail dotting tool, and I'm going to add some rhinestone to my fingernails. So I'm applying those on this design at the center points of each triangle, and then I'm going to apply a rhinestone at the top of my pinky finger. So I'm going to add rhinestones on the other design finger in the same places, and then I'm going to add another to my index finger. So this is the complete look, you guys. I oiled my cuticles, and I also added one top of clear coat on these two glittery nails, and that is the complete look, you guys. This is what underneath the nails look like. So you can see each. And on these, on the glittery nails, there's absolutely no texture. So you can see it's really nice and shiny.